Good morning, good afternoon, based on the location you are. So welcome back. And this is the new topic which we are going to discuss about the Oracle 23 AI new feature. Okay, so before we are going to discuss about the 23 AI new features, let me ask some scenario where you can get the understanding about the new feature. So we are going to talk about the grant select any table onto the schema. So as of now, how you are doing, guys? Suppose I am the user who is trying to connect to your database, but I don't want to the any insert, update, delete feature. I want only the select feature. So how you are going to perform? That's the question. Okay. Good. So basically, if you remember, in the previous Oracle version, what you do. So if somebody will ask you that, hey, Rajiv, I need a read-only access to the particular business application or particular business schema. So what we do? So as a DBA, basically what we do, we create the roles and then we give the user read-only access, correct? So, okay, you are not getting, no problem. Let me explain it again. You all are aware about your HR schema. Okay. So let's say you have a HR schema in your database, which have the lots of tables, the view, sequence, index, and any other object. So for that, I'm going to show you the demo so you can easily understand how we can achieve it. So earlier, what we do, we create first the role for read-only access role. And then role, we will give the grant on existing HR table as well as view. But what happened whenever the new table is added to the HR schema? Suppose tomorrow somebody has created a new schema. What happened? That won't get the impact. User will not get access. Because at the time when you have given the role and then schema, whatever the table on the specifically. So if the new table is added to the HR schema, the role need to be maintained and update if the user require access onto that table. Correct? So this is the method which we are using from many years before the Oracle 23 AI. Yeah, 23C has renamed as 23 AI. So it's not any new thing, or you can say that one. 23 is the C and 23 AI, both are the same thing. Yes, it's a renaming it with that, the new name. So what we do as of now, just example, before I am working with the Oracle 23 AI, like the 19C or maybe the 18C or maybe the 12C or lower version. So manually, we have to create the role. Then we have to select the privilege on each table. And then whatever the new object will be created, we always have to go back and update the role. But with the help of Oracle 23, I grant select any table on a schema, it will automatically include the future table and the view as well. That means no headache for the maintaining this privilege. No maintenance headache we have to maintain. But the question will come, hey Rajiv, why we need it? So maybe your business will need the list privilege. So avoid the overboard, select any table, system privilege, which can expose all schema. So that's why we can use the privilege for one schema, very clear and safe if you are granting the schema wide read access to the user. So that is a good thing. Of course, we will show you the both practical for as well as the theory for this concept. And Oracle 23 AI introduced powerful new privilege, which is called grant select any table on a schema. So that feature will significantly simplify how DBA will manage read-only access to database schema. So in my demo, we will explore how this new feature works, what are the advantages over the older method that I already told you, and whether it will fit your access control strategy for your business or not, you can decide. I will go for the database called DBT database, and we will use the HR schema. So that is the way we are going to show you the demo for the same. Because 23 AI make DBA life easy by introducing select any table on a schema privilege. So if a user requires read-only access to a schema, we don't need to do the manual work. There is no longer need to create a role and maintain it. Just you can grant select once and then you can. So for this, what I'm going to do, I am going to create the table. Okay, and for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to connect to my terminal windows for this demo. And here I'm going to use the database called DBT. So DBT database I'm going to connect. Let me connect to the database. So you can see I'm connected with the version 23.4024. As of now, as I told multiple times, this is not available for you guys. As a trainer, just we are showing you the new features, how you can use it. Of course, free version is available so that you can test these features. But the enterprise edition, which I am using, that is not yet released by the Oracle. So here, what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to check what are the database I have and how I'm going to manage it. So let me go and check, select name, open mode from $database. So my database name is DBT and they have the read and write. The Oracle 23 AI, we have the only container architecture. That was started in the 21 only. If you remember, we have discussed when I was discussing with the theory part that time. But now forcefully Oracle is saying no non-CDB architecture. If you are not using pluggable database, it's okay. But still architecture will be the multi-tenant. So CDB and PDB. Let me check my PDB. So here you can see I have a pluggable database with the name of called PDB1. Correct? So for this, I need to create the user. But before creating the user, of course, user is two types in the multi-tenant architecture, if you remember, the common users and the local users. Okay, so let me recap it. So Oracle multi-tenant architecture, which was started from Oracle database 12c, they have give you the concept about container database and pluggable database. And for that, they have given the two type of users, the common users, local users. That means the common user will use that exists into entire CDB across all container, root, as well as pluggable database. So it is created in CDB root, and it can access and manage multiple pluggable database if we will give them the privilege. And that is the way. So you can say this is like a super user or something. So before creating the user, let me check the table space what we have. Okay, because that will give me the clear idea about my user creation. Okay, so you can see these are the table space I have. Now, this is the time where I can go and create a common user. Of course, for this demo, I don't need a common user because I'm going to play with the pluggable database. So I don't need a common user, but I'm just guiding you how you can create the common user. And then I am creating here the user called Raji with my name. So I have created the user, the common user. Always you have to use C ##. That's the only change. Rest all are the same. Of course, for this user, you need to give the permission. So what you can do, just let me give them the connect privilege or create session privilege. So that way user can able to connect. Hope you understood this concept. Okay, so whatever the other privilege you want, you can give it accordingly. That's not a big deal. Like create table or whatever you want, you can give it those things. So what happened? The user which I have created, the C ## Rajiv, C # means common user. The name is user Rajiv. They can able to access the container database as well as all pluggable database. Okay, because I have mentioned container equal to all. That means that is also created into my pluggable database. So let me go and connect to my pluggable database. There is a various way to connect to the pluggable database. Of course, I am showing the one of the easiest way, alter session set container equal to PDB1. Now I have connected to the pluggable database. And pluggable database also we have the common users. Okay, but my concern is completely different. So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to create the users, the local user. Same syntax, no any changes. Just example I'm giving the username, and this time I have not used the C ##. Like non-CDB architecture, what you were doing, the same you are going to do here. Any doubt, any question so far? Okay. Now I'm going to give the connection. So for that I am giving grant create session and connect to Rajiv user. Now Rajiv user have the connect privilege. They can start the session. Any doubt so far? Then please let me know if you have any doubt. Okay. Now what I said, we are going to discuss grant select any table on a schema. So for this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this with my user. And for that, what I will do, I will able to make the users according to my business need. So I'm going to grant select any table on which schema to my HR schema, to whom, to the newly created user, which is called Rajiv, my name. So let me go and give it. So what I have given? I have given the grant select any table on a schema, which schema, HR schema, to whom, to Rajiv. Any doubt, any questions? Then please let me know. If you have any question, any doubt, guys. then please let me know. Okay, so select any table on a schema privilege is good. Why? Because we don't need to maintain the role for grant read-only access on a schema. So like a DBA, whenever you are granting the select any table privilege, that means we give access not only to the schema, which is required, but to all the schema, which is challenged. Yeah. So as you said, select any table, not a solution, because here I want to only give the HR schema. But when we are giving the select any table, that means he can access from HR or Scott or whichever the user you have, whichever the schema you have. So with select any table on a schema, new privilege, we can able to manage the things with the least privilege concept. Because this feature will might work against the least privilege access requirement. Select any privilege if you are giving. So that is not a good thing. Why? Because suppose if user need to access to only 5 table, or suppose I have a 10 table, out of that only the user want 4 table or 5 table. So this case, these features will not work. Then still you have to do manually for each table. In which case we can give this? In case if you are going to manage the users or you want to give the permissions, like in my case, I have seen the several place user is trying to get the entire table access. So like schema only account was introduced in the earlier version in 19, so similar like that. So actually it was introduced in Oracle 18C, but 18C was not very popular. That's why schema only account people have tested into the 19C. Now what I'm going to do, so let me go and see the grant, what we have given to the user. Which user? To Rajiv. So let me select it. And you can see for the Rajiv users, I have given select any table on which schema? To the HR schema. Okay. Now the questions is coming. I have given to select any table. Okay, what privilege? Select any table. But what about the view? Because employee table, you aware we have a tables, we have a views, we have a like index, synonyms, different thing. So does select any table of schema privilege give access to view as well? Let me test it. Okay. And what about sequence? No, it won't give the access on sequence. Okay. So what I can do, let me do one thing. Let me go and use this according to the my environment. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to grant any select on to the my user, and which user I am working with the Rajiv user. So let me go and try. Grant select any table on schema HR to Rajiv. Okay. Now let me check the view exists under the my HR schema. So for this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to let me check all the view we have. So you can see I have a one view called for this demo in the HR schema, employee details view. So let me try to see the data from the this. And for that, I'm going to try to connect with the user called Rajiv, and you know the Rajiv password I have given Rajiv at @123. So the same I'm giving. Okay. And for which connection I'm going to use, I'm going to use to the my PDB1. Okay, it is not connecting. Why? Because very clear that the service name is not linked yet. The service is not created into this. No, I can't. Okay, let me connect it. So without the service name, I'm connecting. Because in the listener, if you can see, service has not registered yet. Okay. DBAT, yes, we have. What about the PDB1? So I don't have the PDB1. You can see, guys. DBAT we have. Virtual CDB we have. Virtual PDB we have. Okay, service PDB1 is there. SQL Plus. Rajiv. What is the password I have given? Let me check. The Rajiv has 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then added it the my PDB1. Let me try. No, I won't able to connect. Username Rajiv, password Rajiv has 1, 2. No, it is not connecting. Okay, let me try. No, I won't able to connect. Okay, let me try the other way. Okay, I have created into pluggable database. So until unless the service name is not reflecting, I can't. So let me fix that issue first. Yeah. Just give me 2 minutes, guys.
Recording in progress.
Let me clear the screen. And here I'm going to use network configuration assistant. And let me fix this issue first.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so I have configured my service, and this time let me try with the service name to connect. And you can see I'm able to connect. Okay, because I have just go to the network configuration assistant and register the service. That's it. The new service name I have created. Okay, now what I'm going to do, let me see that the view I have access or not. As I told, it must be. Let's work with the view. Let me see the view is there. We can able to see. But what about the sequence? No, it won't. As I told, you cannot able to get the sequence. So let me try. You can see you are not able to get. What message you are getting? Missing the read privilege onto this. Means what you learn from this, whenever you are going to give the select any privilege for the any schema, it will grant the permissions to the users with the select onto the table as well as view. Maybe now you have a question, hey Rajiv, what I will do with the case of the like when I want to go for the view? Yes, it will. But what about the sequence? Is there any alternate way we can do? Definitely you can. The manually what you were doing earlier, the similar way you need to give the permission. So here what you have seen, the view are included in my select any table on a schema privilege. Table is included, but select read on sequence are not. So what do you think, guys? Is it a good feature or not? Just think about your own perspective. Is it good or bad? And then you can decide this type of solutions into your environment if you wish. For my perspective, I always say verify it, check it, and then get it. So sequence, as I showed, no new privilege included onto the table and view, but exclude sequence, which is still required to explicit read or select grant privilege. So the benefit for select any privilege is that no more manual role maintenance, more secure than the select any table, because select any table, you are giving the permissions not only to HR schema, any other schema if they have the object there also. The good benefit is that it will be clean for auditing. That means easily check schema level access. And for that, Oracle has given you the one view called db_schema privilege. So that way you can able to use it, and that's a standard practice you can do. Like you can describe here. Okay, so sorry, I am into this user, into Rajiv user. So let me connect to the super user. And then here you can see I can use this privilege which help me to get. So like this way you can see the all thing. Like I have shown you the earlier, the query, similar way you can get the view. Okay. So this is another technique which as a DBA you can able to get the new features of 23 AI which help you to maintain your day-to-day life easy related to the when you need a assigned privilege to someone for the entire schema. So for developer and DevOps friendly, this type of it will reduce the friction when onboarding the users and tools. But as I said, this is the good features, but sometimes you don't have to use it. Drawback is also there. So when not to use it? If your user need the access only for a specific table, suppose the schema have a 10 table, but user want to access on only 4 table, or user as per the process, we need to give the permission only for 2 table or 6 table or 8 table. That means not all 10 table. In this case, don't use the select any table. So grant select any table on a schema, that is not fulfill that type of the request. In this case, still you have to grant individually object privilege. Avoid using it highly sensitive schema where our exposure could violate the least privilege principle. So those cases don't give it. So hope you all understood this concept, what we discuss, how we can use it, what are the features we have to use it. Of course, the final conclusion is that Oracle 23 AI grants select any table or schema is a simple yet impactful feature that bring the automation, security, and identity clarity, how we can manage read-only access into my environment. In the example, we have used the DBT environment. DBT is my database. You can use for any database. I have shown you the demo for my name, Rajiv. You can use for any name. So basically, this privilege can streamline access control policy and reduce the administrative burden on the DB without sacrificing the security. And that's way it's a good feature. Absolutely, I love it, and I recommend you all can able to get it. Okay. So thank you for your time, and we'll catch you into the next topic. So with this, I'm stopping here. Thanks everyone.